Hey everyone, this one's gonna be pretty interesting. Alright, as always, I'm your host of Frozen Stratos, and today, well, we have quite a bit of news. It kept piling up this week. So, this episode is going to be mostly Rider news. This is actually only Rider news, because not only do we have the Kamen Rider Candy Toy news blog to talk about, we also have some brand new information that, just dropped from Team Rider, which is very awesome, and, obviously, the plot synopsis of Kamen Rider Revice at long last. So, Toei's site updated with this information, as well as this very pretty poster, and then Special Form 12 on Twitter got a hold of it, so did Tokusatsu Nation, so their translations and all that stuff, which I compiled that information from, are in the links in the description down below, so definitely check that out if you would like more information on this, and maybe see if I've missed anything in terms of coverage. But without further ado, let's head into this synopsis. So, Kamen Rider Revice is the story of a young man who makes a deal with the devil. The sinister Dead Man cult, ooh, that's not the right button, the sinister Dead Man cult has developed a device called the Vice Stamp to awaken the demons within humans, which they call Dead Men. Our hero is named Iki Igarashi, and he strikes a bargain with the demon Vice to use the stamp power and save the world, transforming both into Kamen Rider Revi and Kamen Rider Vice. Outside of battle, Iki will receive support from his younger siblings, Daiji, played by Wataru Hyuga, and Sakura, played by Ayaka Imoto. Do forgive these pronunciations, because they are going to get rough. Yeah, that's really cool. The head writer of Kamen Rider Revice will be Hanta Kinoshita, and he has not been in any sort of Rider stuff so far, and from the looks of this synopsis, I'm very interested to see what his vision of Rider is. If you remember, I believe both Gaim and Build, both of those did not have writers who were traditionally in a tokusatsu background, so it is nice every now and again to get this fresh take on Rider, to see, from an outsider's perspective, what makes Rider Rider. So yeah, very excited to see what he's got in store for us. Next up, we have the action director, Jun Watanabe. You know him. He's been around. He's been making cool fights. It's a good time. So it's awesome to see him here again. Also, Takayuki Shibasaki is another one of the tenured directors here, and he served as director for episodes, various Rider episodes from Kabuto onwards. So he does a sprinkling in between. I think Kabuto he only did 2, but he's been steadily progressing and doing more and more. So that's really cool. The music is going to be composed by Kotaro Nakagawa, and he did Decade, Double, O's, Wizard, Drive, and those are all great. Those all have great music, so I can't wait to see what he's got in store for this. And I do believe there is audio already floating around for Revice, so that's very fun. I hope to see an album soon, maybe hit Spotify. I don't know. That's probably out later once the show is out. So now we get to our actual cast, our main characters. Iki is going to be portrayed by Kentaro Maeda, and he has not been in anything before. He's a newcomer, but someone who does have experience is Subaru Kimura. He's been in Yu-Gi-Oh! Brains. He's been in Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans. We might know him as the Seiza Blaster in Uchi Sentai Kyuranger, and you might also know him as... what is this? Yeah, you might also know him as possibly a racist? No, actually... yeah, no, it does say here Shibaru Kimura is a fucking racist. So yeah, I believe he has done some really iffy things in the past. I'm not going to show them here because, I don't know, it's really rude and disgusting stuff that he's done. But, I don't know. I don't know why we need to hire this guy. Ugh, it's not a good look, Toei. And I'm not quite sure what to do about it. So going forward for Revice, there has been quite a bit of controversy around it, specifically on Twitter, just because that's where I exist. And I've seen takes ranging from, hey, maybe don't watch the show, to, hey, maybe if you're watching the show, don't buy the products, or outright dismissal, which I feel like is really not a good idea, to just fully dismiss that one of our main characters is voiced by this guy. It's not a great look. In terms of where I stand on this, I'm going to be buying Soto, just because I am specifically a fan of Soto and that toy line. I recognize also that my dollar probably doesn't mean much in the grand scheme of things, but it is an interesting thing. There have been a lot of people discussing this on Twitter, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on it, just because I'm still working this out myself. Either way, I still feel like being outright dismissal of his actions is kind of irresponsible. So yeah, definitely he's not a cool dude, so don't like that. Anyway, that is it for the Kamen Rider Revice. It is already fraught with controversy, and I guess that's just what Rider is most of the time anyway. That being said, let's move on from this to some Soto news, and I feel like this is where a lot of the people are going to be dropping off. But this is cool stuff. I'm telling you, this is really cool stuff, so maybe stick around. Because we've got here today a promise, or at least a tease. I feel like months ago we got this tease that they were working on various form heads for Kamen Rider Saber, because as you know, Kamen Rider Saber's Soto line, it does do the form changing gimmick, but the heads do not change to reflect the combinations. So people had been clamoring in the surveys and wanting these different heads to go with at least the forms shown in the show. Well, our prayers have been answered, because not only are we getting heads for a lot of those forms, and I think all of those forms, and this form specifically, I think Dragon Hedgehog Peter, this form is also getting extra shin pieces to make this possible. So, like I said, we're getting a bunch of heads for this. I won't show them all just yet. I'm just going to run through what else is going to be coming, because this is going to be an accessory set. There's going to be a lot of things in this set. Chief among them are book holder, or like the drivers with the books in them but closed, and you got the thing hanging out. You've got that for Saber, and not just for 3 books. You get them for 1 book, 2 book, 2 book again. There's tons of combinations here. I'm just gonna show you what all comes in the box, because it's a lot easier to visualize. You get a stand, you get, different, I guess, gear for the belt. You get 7 belts in total to, I guess, finish out every single different variation of how this belt is supposed to look. And obviously, the belt with the single rider, or the single ride book opened, that's already been made, so they didn't put that in this set. But we also get to see here the heads, and it brings up a bit of an issue, because you are going to get the heads, yes, but it's really only going to be the front of the head, and you're going to have to share the back of the head with the other ones, and then also the sword tips on the heads. Those are going to be shared across the ones that have Hawk in them, and ones that don't have Hawk in them. So that's interesting. It all comes down to how much they could fit in the mold, and this was the most cost-effective measure. And this thing is already packed enough as it is anyway. Here's like the full sticker sheet, and we can see that even these in-between forms are going to be represented on the sticker sheet. So that's very good on the, stand sheet. Also, we're going to be getting a ride book holding hand. Now, you'll notice that this is black because you actually see the back side of this and not the front. This is so that, you could just pretend it's whichever one you want. You can do whip it on the Saber, so you can play pretend and pretend that it's any book. So that's cool. I appreciate that, and that's kind of just what I've been doing with all of mine anyway, because they've, quite frankly, given us too many options in the past, so it's really cool to see this. Though, I will say, I know that there are some people who would like those options anyway. I hear you, I get that. All that to say, this thing is going to be loaded. Absolutely loaded, filled to the brim. You can already see this box busting out with just a bunch of stuff. So this is going to be a really cool pack to open. But that's not it. Because, oh, actually, I did want to show off basically all the forms you can do. You do get, I would say, 7 forms in total. There are some in-between forms that aren't represented in these stickers, and that's because those stickers have been made previously available in other sets. I believe it's 2 of them, so do keep that in mind. This is just the first time we're going to be getting the accurate heads for all of this. Anyway, that is it for this portion of the accessory sets, because that portion was accessory set for Saber. This one is an accessory set for others. So let's talk about it, because, hey look, Slash! He finally gets to rock out with a rock out hands and a brand new gun. Yes, we are finally getting the gun mode of his sword. It looks great. Malunis had pointed out to me that the hands do look different. It does appear that the left hand is going to just be molded like that and have the thumb out, and then the right hand will actually let you hold the blaster in it, so that's really cool. We also get the hilt piece to go in at the bottom section of the hand, so that's really cool if you want to display it that way. Also, he's not the only one that gets displayable hilt pieces. It turns out Caliber is getting that treatment, as well as Kenzan. Yes, that's his name. So yeah, these are all going to be very, very cool. But that's not it for Kenzan either, because Kenzan actually is going to have the other shields finally. The other 3 little pig shields. I believe this is the hay one and the wood one. So now you can complete the set. We have all 3: brick, wood, and hay. Very, very awesome. So finally we get those. They did say at one point those were coming. Do not worry, just be patient. So it is nice to see that these are here now. Anyway, next up, we got more belts. It turns out Saber's not the only one that has this belt, so I'm not going to show them all here, but needless to say, you get these different intermediary forms of the belts. Just replicate whatever the heck you want from these guys. It's a good time. You know, you've got the heads. I don't know. Do you have the heads to go with this as well? I don't think you do. We'll see. Hey, do you remember these? These weird display stands they did during GO? Well, it turns out they're back? So, GO had that weird rider kick in, I believe, the Overquartzer movie where all their logos were behind them, and they said, hey, let's make display things for them. And now, you know, at that time, they hadn't made any for the riders that weren't present in the movie or weren't in Soto. So they decided to go back and do one for Saber. They have one for 01. They also have one for Gaim finally, so he can join that rider kick. Unfortunately, though, there is no mention of a Ryuki one, which is interesting because Ryuki is now in Soto. I wonder if they'll amend that later, but there are plenty of items in this accessory set already. Oh yeah, it does come with the extra head, so that's really cool. Yeah, like I said, this sticker sheet is probably really packed to begin with, so I can see why they might have left it out. But yeah, that's basically it for this set. That's actually it for Book 9 in its entirety. This is everything you're getting in this set. And like we had said before with Durandal, his Trident mode, that is still a work in progress, so obviously it's not going to be coming out in this set because, you know, they all come out at the same time. Hopefully sometime in the future we will be getting that, but unfortunately today is not that day. But this is still a rather comprehensive set, so let me know in the comments down below where you stand on this set. Are you going to be getting the entirety of Book 9? Because it is pretty interesting. There's quite a bit of blue here. Yeah, that is it for RRR Candy Toy this week, but I did want to mention something that just dropped as I was, you know, working on this. Turns out, Heisei Week 2 is August 2nd through the 7th. Yes, that's right. Team Kamen Rider is doing this yet again. They did a live stream on Periscope that I did not get to see live, but I watched the recorded version of it. It turns out the first sort of kind of exclusive that they announced is the jerseys. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with Team Rider, they all have these really cool jerseys, and they brought out this new one that they're actually going to be making available to us as fans, and it will have the Team Kamen Rider logo. It will have the new 50th anniversary logo. It even has Toei's logo on it. It has Toei's blessing as well. So this is the first time. It is going to be a US exclusive, unfortunately, and these are going to be made to order, so you have to pre-order them. I don't think they'll have any back stock or anything to buy afterward. This is it. So keep your eyes peeled on Bluefin Brands and Team Kamen Rider for that shirt and Heisei Week 2 in its entirety. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Anyways, that is it. That was a lot, but that was it, and there's going to be a little bit of controversy. Well, there was a little bit of controversy in the center there. Hope you didn't mind. I felt it necessary to cover because Jesus Christ. And also, hey, that is not it in terms of news coverage that I wanted to talk about, because obviously we had the new Tengo Kaiju trailer that had some brand new printing images. We also had our very first looks at Shoto Super Gao Ranger and our very first looks at Yuno 2. What? It just sort of dropped out of nowhere, but if you want to learn more about that, definitely subscribe to get that information, because that video is coming out later on. I don't know if it's today, I don't even know if it's tomorrow, but it will come. I will make a video on these. It is very important to talk about. But hey, if you like Zenkaiger, I made merch of it. If you want to check these out, these are on my my TeePublic down in the description down below. But also, as usual, there are links in the description to how you can help support the Black Lives Matter movement, how you can donate to the hashtag Stop Anti-Asian Hate, and then also just, you know, a donation link to the Trevor Project, if you don't mind. All those and more in the description down below and at the end card of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, also, check out Geek Each Week every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific and 10 p.m. Eastern. I do that every week with Josh and a whole bunch of other people, and we have a lot of fun. We play some game show games, and it's a good time. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Keep